Hello, my loves. So I'm doing a reading for today because I feel like energy energy is really strong right now. Tomorrow is like full peak of the full moon, but it is already a full moon right now. And me, definitely as a Cancer, I'm feeling it very heavily. I'd say I'm also feeling, at least today, very heavily about like reflection on my relationships in my life. So if you're in that kind of area right now, this may be a good reading for you. I'm trying to find some good in today, and I got a tattoo that I've been waiting to get for a while now, so I'm pretty happy about that. I'll show you for a second. So there's a Highland cow, and then it's like wraps all the way around my leg up to my thigh. So I'm very happy about that, and it was done beautifully. So happy about that. The other reason I bring that up is because there's a psychology trick that you can do where you ask somebody, they could be any animal that they like, whether it be extinct, made up, whatever else, like what animal would they be and why? And then you ask them a second time what animal they would be and why. And the first answer that you give has to do with how you describe yourself and how you see yourself. And the second animal that you give is how you would view your ideal partner and what it is that is most important for you. And I have on my left ankle a llama, which is how I would describe myself. And I got the Highland cow. I don't know, that was an interesting trick that I learned like a while ago, and it just always kind of stuck with me. So I would say that it has to do with relationships. So we'll see what the cards say today about this full moon and what things are to come. We have the Eight of Swords, the Queen of Swords, the Sun, the other thing that I'll note, just because it's something that I'm looking to do, if you have relationships that you know in this time are not going to make it through this retrograde or through this full moon, or you just know that it's time to let go of these relationships, a thing that you can do is write a letter to them, like especially if it's somebody that has like caused you a lot of like heartache or whatever else. Write a letter to them, whatever it is that you want to say to them that you may not necessarily tell them in person. Fold it away from you and then burn it. That is a good way to end a relationship and cut off the energy where it stands. You, of course, if it's something like really toxic and you guys are constantly going back to each other all the time, you could also look into doing like a cord cutting spell or something like that. I deal a lot with fire when I'm doing spells and stuff like that. It's just something that I feel is more solid, at least when I do spells. We have the Six of Pentacles. I have a lot of cards right now. I'd say we're gonna go with these ones. So we have the Six of Pentacles, the Tower, and the Seven of Pentacles. So give me a second to look over the cards. and see what the cards are trying to tell us for this period of time. Okay, so with the Eight of Swords, it talks about, it says diplomacy and evasion, and with the word that was coming to me when I did a deep dive into this card, since I haven't had this card before, it talks about, basically, you may be in a situation where you feel like you can't get out of it, or it's a difficult situation, and it's telling you to use your diplomacy and evasion in this time to work your way through the situation. The word that kept coming into my head while I was reading this card meaning had to do with discernment. And the reason I say that is because you may be in a situation where you can't necessarily crash out. You have to be able to do this in a way that, like, obviously when you leave, or like leave this relationship, leave this job, whatever else it may be, obviously that is when they're gonna like feel the mark of you being gone, and that's gonna weigh heavy. But I don't necessarily think that this is something that you can do in a like high energy level type thing, because I think that the relationship of like who this stands with, they feed off of that. Like they feed off of your high energy. So this is something where you kind of just have to step on the eggshells and figure your way out of it. With the Queen of Swords, I want to say this one had to do with like perseverance. It was basically saying, like, in the deep dive of the card, if you can make your way through this hard time and like through this hard area of your life, there's positive growth to come. And I think that this could also deal with a glow up. The only reason I say that is because this creature is, like, in my opinion, very, very beautiful. And she's got like all the flowers in her hair, and she's just very in her feminine nature. With the Sun card, it talks about courage being needed during this time. And with the Six of Pentacles, it talks about a new beginning in abundance. So I would say this is going to be a rough one, especially with the Tower card following after. And the creature on this one is the Kraken. I don't know, I see that as like pure chaos, like whenever the Kraken shows up. But I would say for this abundance to come in, there is a level, like there's something that needs to fall apart before this abundance comes in. Specifically, in my opinion, a relationship. You could have like a relationship with a parent, a relationship with a coworker, a relationship in general, a friendship. Something like has to be let go of in this time in order to bring new in. Okay, so for the final card, I feel called to read the whole message of it explaining the creature in this one. So it's the Seven of Pentacles, and it talks about financial gain. And in the deep dive when it's explaining it, so it says you will gain financially from your hard work. And I think that this is after that relationship drops out of your life. I think it's just holding a lot of negative energy, and that's not something that you need in your life right now. So the explanation is, one of the most extraordinary powers of the gargoyles is their ability to absorb negative energies from humans and atmospheres, revert it to positive energy, and release it back into the air. The pentacles on this card denote the gargoyles' protective influences. The final note that I'll put, because I'm running out of time, is stop giving your energy to the wrong people. There are people in your life like that you need to do the reflection of whether or not they deserve to be in your life and they deserve your energy. If they don't deserve your energy, cut them out. It's time.